There is a sucker born every minute, and my God, Time Magazine has just officially named Dragon Age the Veilguard as the best game of 2024. How big was the check that Time Magazine got to say such a statement? We're talking about a game that hasn't even announced their sales figures yet, a game that didn't even hit 100,000 concurrent players on Steam, a game that has been a mega flop, one of the biggest disasters of 2024, and Time Magazine is saying that it's the game of the year. Holy cow, guys. So shout outs to Fandom Pulse. This is a article by Minimum Effort, Tebow. So shout outs to Tebow as well. I see you. So the mainstream media continues to expose their bias for games that push a progressive pro-LGBT agenda by calling it the best game of 2024. Guys, they're not even hiding it at this point that they are all shills for the woke agenda. This game was DEI infected. We had the top surgery scars. We had that cringe cutscene where you get misgendered lectured and about the consequences of misgendering people and all that crap. I can't even, my brain can't even like form a proper sentence about it. But yeah, I can't believe they've done the unthinkable and named it as a game of the year. So this article talks about the actual game of the year that we just saw where Astrobot won it. And this article says the 2024 Game Awards have come and gone, but the backlash stemming from several controversial snubs is far from over. The wildly popular Black Myth Wukong won the Player's Voice Award, despite losing out on Game of the Year to Astrobot. I'm fine with Astrobot winning. I thought that was a cute game. It was adorable, had charming graphics, music, you name it. I'm not mad. Now, it says Stellar Blade, another massive Sony exclusive, was left off several categories entirely. No surprise. It was eventually defeated by Rebirth in the Best Score in Music category. As such, it's become exceedingly clear to the majority of gamers that the gap between actual gamers and those in games media have never been wider, and we've seen it. This Axis media that tries to act holier than thou. Oh, you guys aren't journalists. You guys don't have this, and you guys don't have access, and you guys don't know anything. They act like snobs, but meanwhile, they're deep in the pockets and wallets of each other. The industry is a whole club. You're not in it. If you're not part of Access Media, you're not part of the little clique that's going on where they pay you off to shill, to write hit pieces on people that go against the grain, to write damage control for people like Sweet Baby Inc. They're all paid fucking shills, and they're all woke, okay? It's literally like a gaming journalist cabal. And as retarded as that sounds, it is as retarded as it really is in reality. Now, going on, this says, in a move that seemed like an obvious attempt to incite outrage, Time released their top 10 best games of 2024 list 1 week ahead of the Game Awards, with several extremely questionable selections making it onto the list. The most notable titles that were left off were Space Marine 2 and Stellar Blade, two games that were both financially successful and very well received by audiences. But of course, we can't have Stellar Blade on there. Remember, we don't want the gooners to be happy and have their jerk-off material. Anyways, here's what they listed. Number one, they had Veilguard. Again, I think that takes up all credibility. If you think that that was a game of the year, let me sell you an oceanfront property in Arizona because you are gullible. You have no idea what video games are, much less for Veilguard to be a game of the year. Not even a top 10, in my opinion. Astrobot, which actually won Game of the Year from Jeff Keighley's award show, is number 2. I could give that. I'm fine with Rebirth being number 3 as well. That's the game that I wanted to be Game of the Year. Then we have Silent Hill 2. We have Neva. I never even heard of that. Alan Wake 2. Night Springs in the Lake House. Are they ranking just the DLC or the game as a whole? Because Alan Wake 2 is not number 6 as far as the game of the year goes. This game didn't even make a profit for Remedy Inc., for Remedy Entertainment, or whatever the fuck that studio is called. Remedy did not make a fucking profit off of Alan Wake 2. So how is it in the top 10? Can somebody answer me that? How is that a top 10 game if it didn't even make the company a profit? After that, we got Wukong, which should easily be in the top 5. Star Wars Outlaws, are you kidding me? Ubisoft came out and said that that was a flop, that the launch of it was a lot softer than they expected, that they wanted to sell more copies. Sure, the game itself, the game mechanics were okay. It was an Ubisoft open world game, but a top 10? No. Lego Horizon Adventures, again, another game that farted. It came and went like a fart. Helldivers 2 should be in the top 10. I'll agree with that one. So going on, it says it's almost impossible to discern what Time was thinking when making these selections. There were 2 Alan Wake DLCs that shared the 6th spot. So yeah, I guess it was DLC as number 2. Even then, Alan Wake 2 didn't make a profit. Yet no inclusion of Shadow of the Erd Tree, the DLC for 2022 Game of the Year winner Elden Ring. Yeah, so that's weird. The actual Game Awards put Elden Ring's DLC in there, but this one didn't. They put Alan Wake 2's DLC instead. Could somebody make that make sense? Somebody? It says Alan Wake 2 is a title famously connected to a DEI consulting firm, Sweet Baby Inc. We've already covered that. And as of right now, has yet to make a profit. By comparison, Elden Ring is one of the most successful and heavily awarded games of all time. So yeah, you can already see the bullshit. It's almost like Time was wanting to make rage bait out of this whole thing. Now this says Star Wars Outlaws making the list at 8 is even more laughable, given that this title has yet to sell 2 million copies, just like what I said. That is a joke. And it has been an absolute public relations nightmare for Ubisoft. Again, Ubisoft can do nothing right this year. They've been fumbling. Going on, it says, dropping Helldivers 2 all the way down to 10 behind Lego Horizon Adventures, a game that had an all-time peak on Steam of 602 players, is a blatant display of disrespect for their developers and player base. Helldivers 2 had a lot of fucking hype. That was like a early contender for Game of the Year. Again, Lego Horizon Adventures, I just heard about it when it came out, and nobody I know had even played it. Nobody I know had even written a review or did a video review about it. I don't even recall the gaming activist, journos, writing anything sensible about it and praising it. That game just came out and I forgot about it. But Helldivers 2 had a lot of fucking hype, a lot of coverage, everything about it. For it to be at number 10 on the Time magazine list, while Dragon Age Veilguard is number 1, that's fucking retarded. So, going on, Minimal Effort Tebow says, most egregious, however, was their placement of Dragon Age The Veilguard at 1. This title from BioWare, the latest entry in the Dragon Age franchise after a 10-year hiatus, has been mocked and ridiculed by players far and wide for its heavy-handed use of things such as pronouns, non-binary characters, top surgery scars, and incredibly amateur storytelling, which is everything that we've talked about this game, which is just absolute cringe. God, I can't believe how bad of a job they did with Veilguard. I call it Failguard. So it failed so miserably at appealing to mass audiences that even the Game Awards only gave it 1 nomination in the accessibility category. That's bad. Likely due to their contracting of known accessibility consultant and trans representation enthusiast Laura Kate Dale. All right. So here's Laura Kate Dale. Only reason why they even got a nomination, I think they went empty-handed. I don't recall them winning anything, right? I kind of just barely paid attention to the Game Awards. I was at a watch party that YouTube invited me. So it says, regarding Dragon Age, Richard Newby wrote for Times. Now get this. First, hats off to what has to be the most advanced character creation system ever brought to video games. It's possible to spend hours just fine-tuning the look of your character, as everything from bone structure to tissue placement is considered from every angle. So he's praising the character creation system. Not even the fucking game. So is this why they're ranking it number 1? This cringe thing where you can put top surgery scars? Are you serious? They were so desperate to get people to play this game that the only good thing that people, and I've seen Shield Media, I've seen the Veilguard Twitter itself, the only thing they've ever really promoted was this character creation system. I've never heard them brag about the game at all. That is embarrassing. Continues to say, the character creator is also fully inclusive, not only in terms of race, but also gender. Who gives a fuck about any of this? And its inclusion of non-binary pronouns and flexibility with physical characteristics like hairstyles. Yeah, this makes it Game of the Year. Before the game even begins, There's an effort to make the Veilguard feel personal and truly put the gamer behind the character. That does not make a game of the year, guys. Fucking garbage. And you can see here's a screenshot where they're advertising their game top best video games of 2024. And somebody says, a banger reply. Damn, you need to fire your gaming journalist because Veilguard flopped harder than Black Adam and had just as much marketing. And you guys ranked it number 1. Wow. Now you can see this talks about Inverse recently putting out that article where Coring Bush, who's known as the ruler of RPGs, the conqueror of haters, what fucking cringe is that, basically said that it was because of a hate campaign that this game failed, right? They admitted it, and they push far left LGBTQ agendas with this whole nonsense. This is how it is. They're all activists that are working for this game, and they don't understand. Nobody wants this activism. We just want fun games. We don't even want it. I've heard somebody try to say that us rage bait right-wing grifters want only our politics in the games. No, I don't want any fucking politics in our fucking games. They admitted in this interview that the purpose wasn't to faithfully follow the established franchise, so they don't even want to follow the lore. They don't want to follow the source material and give longtime fans what they wanted, but rather to use it as a tool to force their own personal beliefs into the series by reinventing it. By the way, Coring Bush is a transgender. That's why this article is saying his. I don't remember what their dead name is, but they're all about pushing that agenda on it. They said, we have an incredibly diverse player base, and what I mean by that is their motivations and expectations. This becomes the biggest opportunity to continue that tradition of reinvention. So, a complete joke that Time Magazine ranked Veilguard at number 1. You gotta be kidding me. They're not even hiding that they're fucking woke shills at this point. Complete garbage, in my humble opinion. Complete garbage. Nobody's falling for this. Time Magazine, time and time again, no pun intended, just continues to make an ass out of itself and to reveal that they know absolutely nothing about having credibility when it comes to their writing. I cannot believe they had the audacity to put one of the biggest fails of a gaming release as number 1. So what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that subscription button. I'll see you on the next one.